His Ability Show live a day early. And I know some of you are probably wondering, it's not Saturday, it's Friday. Well, I'm doing the show a day early this week, and I will explain why after we do trivia time. But anyway, on with the show. This week, I want to talk about hot day tips. Now, this time of year, your average Florida day temperatures are between 70 and 80. But sometimes, like it was 2 years ago, it gets as high as 90. So it's always a good idea to slap on the sunscreen because the Florida sun can be unforgiving sometimes. Also, hydrate. And make sure you bring bottles of water. And especially during the summertime, it's a good idea to bring cooling towels and neck fans. They are a real lifesaver, sometimes literally. So and also, like we talked about last week, it's a good idea to hit the pool at your hotel as well, because that's definitely a good way to cool off. So always make sure you have something with you to help you keep cool. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. So Epcot, like all the parks, is ever changing. But we cannot deny the fact that we have been robbed of some potentially incredible attractions due to COVID budgets or any other kind of budgets. So this week, we're going to cover my top 5 Epcot close calls. Now, keep in mind, these are attractions that aren't in existence at Epcot, but almost saw the light of day. Number 5, never built World Showcase pavilions. Now, we were supposed to get some other pavilions other than the ones we have now at World Showcase. Back in the day, we were supposed to get a full-length Africa pavilion, which we have at Animal Kingdom. But we were also supposed to get Iran, Iraq, but didn't for obvious reasons. We were also supposed to get a Russia, which again, for obvious reasons. Iceland, which I used to live in Iceland, so big whoop. But I hope one day in the future, like maybe at Destination D, we get some news of a new pavilion. Because it's been about 37 years since we got since the last pavilion we got, which was Norway. Number 4, the Giant Festival Pavilion. Now, we were supposed to get a 2-story festival building, which would look like a tree. Hi, Anna16. And it was supposed to be a headquarters for all things festivals. And I think it was all supposed to be like a hangout spot as well. And, I mean, we have the Communicore Hall now, which is what which is kind of what that is now. And I think it's perfect, but I'm still sad we didn't get this giant festival pavilion. Number 3, the play pavilion. Now we were promised an amazing interactive experience in the former Wonders of Life building. And obviously, because of COVID budgets, that's been shelved. Which is a shame because I would have really liked seeing what it was like. I think we were definitely robbed of that. We definitely were. Number 2, the Mary Poppins attraction that we were supposed to get in the UK pavilion. So before the pandemic, we were promised by Dick Van Dyke himself some sort of attraction in the UK pavilion themed to Mary Poppins, and it would show an extension of the pavilion to Cherry Tree Lane. Well, we don't know what we would have gotten there. Would we have gotten a ride? Would we have gotten a meet and greet? Nikan won. Exactly. We were robbed of it. We were definitely... Am I right or am I right? And my number 1 Epcot close call, the roller coaster through Mount Fuji. So back in the 90s, during a special hosted by John Lithgow, they showed plans for a roller coaster in the Japan pavilion. Hi, Samantha Irwin. All right, make sure you subscribe. And sadly, that coaster didn't happen because that would have been Epcot's first coaster. Rather than Guardians, which we have now, which is Epcot's very first coaster. I would have liked it. I would have really enjoyed that ride. Like I said, we have been robbed due to budgets. So anyway, let me know in the chat or in the comments what you think they should have moved forward with building at Epcot. And now it is time for Diz or Dat. So on both coasts, you will find a ride with a high-speed loop around the building. At Epcot, it's Test Track, which is still being refurbished into its 3rd iteration, which will be opening this summer, and will be inspired by Epcot's predecessor, the World of Motion, which I think is awesome that they're doing. And at Disney's California Adventure, it's Radiator Springs Racers, which I think is one of the best rides there. And because it's 2 cars at once doing the high-speed loop around the building, and there are hills, and of course, it has Cars theming to it. So let me know in the chat or in the comments which high-speed ride you prefer, Diz, Test Track, or Dat, Radiator Springs Racers. And now it's trivia time! Alright, so last week we asked, what was the name of the circus in Dumbo? The correct answer was the WDP Circus, which is a reference to Walt Disney Productions. Congratulations if you knew the answer. And now here is this week's trivia time question. What was the first Pixar film? Be the first one in the chat or in the comments with the correct answer, and you will receive 100 cool points. So, again, you are probably wondering, Big John, it's not Saturday, it's Friday. Why are you doing this week's show on a Friday? Well, that's because I'm probably going to be too tired tomorrow, because tonight I am going to be flying down to Florida. That's right, more videos are on the way. Now, tomorrow, I am very excited about this. I know I might have said this in the past, but if you haven't known, tomorrow I am going to be crossing Take the Keys to the Kingdom tour off my bucket list. Which means I can cross off seeing the Utilidors off my bucket list. So, the Keys to the Kingdom tour is amazing. I cannot wait for this. I'm going to see, and I hope to show some good videos. And after that, I'm going to be spending the next 6 to 5 days in Margaritaville and Auburndale. And it'll probably include a little quick trip to Disney Springs. And we're also considering Legoland as well. We're thinking about it. Not confirmed, but maybe you'll be surprised. And then after that, we are going to be going back to Disney. We're going to hit a couple parks and see Muppet Vision one last time. And we are going to be staying at the new DVC cabins at Fort Wilderness. It is awesome news, Niken One. And we're going to see Hoop-Dee-Doo and go to Epcot for Festival of the Arts. It's going to be a great week, and I promise you there is going to be some great content on the way. So make sure you are definitely subscribed for everything that is to come. So anyway, that's our show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. For this week's shout-outs, make sure you guys check out my friends Princess and the Bear. They do great food vlogs from the parks. Definitely check them out. Also, make sure you guys check out Anthony the Molar Man. I'm sure he'll be starting up a new season of Disney Match Game very, very soon. Also, make sure you guys check out my friend Tanya, a.k.a. That Crazy Disney Lady. She does great live streams from the parks as well. Definitely check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out my friend Tamia over at Tamia Smiles. She does great content on both her YouTube and her Instagram. Definitely check her out. If you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, Kwaherini.